Hi everyone, welcome back to Yoga with Rosie. So today is going to be a very gentle yoga class for everybody with period pain and cramps. So I'm in the south of France, it's very sunny, I can't actually open my eyes very much, so excuse me if I'm squinting. But before we start, I do have some props with me. So I have a folded up blanket, just any old blanket, just folded up. And I also have two blocks here. I'll leave some links for some blocks down below in the description box in case you want to grab some for your next yoga class. But today we're just going to start off by lying down. So what I'm going to do actually is use the blanket for my head and just relax my head on there. So if you can either do that if you want to, or you can just lie directly on the mat otherwise if you don't have a blanket or if you don't want to do that today. So all of this before we start as well is optional. This is what works for me when I'm on my period. I tend to have a sore back and I want to kind of stretch my lower back, a little bit of massage there. So hopefully this will also be useful for you and you'll enjoy it as well. If there is something that you find painful or you don't want to do, feel free to skip it or do a different pose instead. All of this is optional. This is your body. You do what's best for you. It's your practice. So I recommend we start by laying down. So like I said, I'm just using a blanket to support my head. And you can either have your legs out straight or you can bend your knees if that's more comfortable in your lower back. And we're just going to place our hands on our tummies, which might be in a little bit of pain right now. They might be bloated, might be aching and having cramps. But we're just going to place our hands there and send some love and some peace to our bodies. Now we're going to start to slow down our breathing, taking deeper breaths in and out. Maybe start to pay attention to your breath and notice which parts of your body move when you inhale and exhale. Does your tummy move? Does your chest move? Do you breathe in and out through your mouth or your nose? Just start to become aware of your breath. Okay, so let's start moving. Like I said, it's going to be gentle and slow, so we can take our time in all these different poses. So the first thing I'd like you to do is to bring your right knee into your chest and hug it in tight. Bring your left knee into your chest and hug it in tight. And then bring both in together and give yourself a good squeeze, a nice big hug. I feel like this usually feels nice on my tummy because when I get cramps I kind of want to curl up into a ball. So this pose is particularly nice. Again, remembering to breathe throughout this practice. So we're going to start to fold our legs over to the left hand side just for a nice gentle supine twist. So your left hand can maybe come on top of your right knee. Your gaze can be straight forwards, or you can even look to your right hand side and extend your right arm out beside you. Just find what feels good today. We're going to stay here for a little moment. Again, remembering to breathe. We're going to bring the legs back up through center and then over to the right hand side. So your right hand might come on top of your left leg, your left arm might come out to the side, and your gaze can either be up or to the left. Again, we're just going to spend a couple of moments here, so be gentle with yourself, relax into it. and back up through center. Now, something I like to do on my period is to massage my lower back by creating some circles with my knees. So I place my hands on my knees and just start to create some circles there. I'm going to move slowly 3 times in one direction and then 3 times in the other direction as well. You can go a little bit faster, you can do that whatever works best for you. I feel like this gives my lower back a really nice massage. It's with any sort of pain that I might have. Last one. And then I'm going to give myself a nice big squeeze, lifting my head. And I'm going to start to rock back and forth until I come to a seated position. So just gently start to rock back and forth. I'm going to do it one more time. There we go. I'm going to come up to a seated position. So next up, we're going to, you can keep your eyes closed by the way, I like to keep my eyes closed when I'm doing yoga. So the next thing I'm going to do is a couple of spinal twists. So we can start by raising both arms up above our head. I'm going to twist the right hand side, so place your left hand on your right knee and your right hand can come down behind you and you can have a gentle twist here. With every inhale you can raise up and with the exhale you can turn a little further. So your body might be going through a lot today, so be very gentle with yourself. You don't have to push or hurt yourself. Make sure you're just being gentle. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. And back through center. We're going to do the same on the opposite side, so raise our arms up above the head. And exhale, your right hand comes to your left knee, your left hand comes behind you, and you start to twist. Again, inhale to lengthen, and exhale to twist a little bit deeper. You don't want to force anything today, just gentle movements. And back to center. So we're now going to do a Badanasana. Now you have a couple of different options here with this one. So I'm just going to sit backwards a little bit. You might want to actually do this one lengthways on your mat. But I'm going to face this way so you can see what I'm doing. So like I said, there's a couple of different options. I'm going to grab my blocks. So if you have some blocks, you can maybe take those, or some books, otherwise if you have books. And option 1 is to sit like this. So you can have a block either side of your knees. So for me, that wouldn't work. It would have to be the higher option. So with the blocks is where you have 3 options. You have the first, the second and the third. So you can have 3 heights there. So I'm going to use the second, the third height even, the highest ones, just to support my legs. And now you can either stay here sitting quite upright with your back straight. You can stay here. You can maybe start to lean forwards, maybe hold on to your feet, wrap your fingers around your feet and lean forwards. This is a nice hip stretch as well. Or the other option is to actually place your hands behind you, lift your chest and open up the heart. This is a nice heart and chest opener. So do one of these 3 poses, the one that feels best for you today. And this is something that might change day by day, month by month. So you might find yourself doing this practice multiple times, but them being different every time. So we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. and back up through center. And we're actually going to put the blocks to one side for the moment, and we're going to move into a tabletop position. So to do this, you place your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips, and this is called tabletop position. So what we're going to do is work through some cat-cows here. So on the inhale, you'll drop your belly and lift your gaze up, and on the exhale, you round your spine, push through your hands and through your shoulders and look down either towards the mat or through your legs, maybe towards your toes. And then inhale, drop the belly, look up. And exhale, round the spine, look down. We're going to do this 2 more times in your own rhythm. So inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. The wind's picking up a bit. Decided to throw my block at me. That's absolutely fine. So the other thing I'd like to do here is thread the needle. So we're going to start to bring our weight onto our left hand, and your right hand is going to slide up and lift up into the air. And then on the exhale, you're going to come down and pass your right hand between your left hand and your left knee. So much so that your shoulder comes down to the floor, and your left hand can either stay here or you can reach round to your right pocket. This is a nice twist. So we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. And I'm going to push back up into a tabletop position, and we're going to do the same on the other side. So inhale, the left hand comes up, and exhale, it passes through the right hand and the right knee. I'm still going to take this off actually. So it passes through the right hand and the right knee until your shoulder comes down. Your right hand can either stay here or you can lift it up and over behind you to your left pocket. And again, I'm just going to stay here for a couple of breaths. We're going to press back up into tabletop position. And we're going to move into child's pose. So I'm going to give you a couple of different variations for child's pose. Now the first variation, your toes come together at the back and your knees are separated, kind of the width of the mat, or just about. And we're going to lean forwards. Your forehead can come down to the mat, and then your arms can stretch out in front of you. And you can start to kind of stretch your fingers and your arms out in front. And your belly comes in between your legs and your chest comes to the floor. So this is the first variation. The second variation, I'll come back up again. If you place your legs together, your head comes down, and then your arms can come back down the sides of you so that your hands are down by your feet, and you can just relax your hands down here. So this is the second variation. I feel this is a nice one in your period because it kind of stretches your lower back down here. So this one might feel good. And then the other option is actually if we take both blocks and my blanket that's rolled up, I'm actually going to create a little bit of a support here. So I'll place one block here and the other block about here. I'm actually going to do this on the second level. So we'll see how this goes. And I'm going to place my mat on there. My blanket, on top. And then when I lean forwards, I have this to support me. So I'm just going to move it a little bit closer to me. So what you would do is you would lean forwards here. I'm scared that if I do it, it's going to affect the mic. but you would place your arms on the mat like this so that your elbow to your wrist is flat on the mat. Both arms are doing that, and you can kind of relax down in that pose like so. If you want to bring that higher, of course you can do. You can use the highest option of the block. Let's put them this way. And then you can lean on there and actually place your arms even between the blocks. That could be a nice place to rest. Like this. So whichever variation you've gone for, we're just going to stay here for a little while because I find that child's pose is actually very restorative for me. Another option actually, sorry I forgot to mention, is child's pose and rest your head either on a blanket or on a block or on both. You can kind of stack them both together, and that could be a really nice option as well, so that you know the floor is closer to your head so you're not reaching over quite as far. So for example, I could put a block underneath there and kind of do child's pose like this. This is always lovely. Or with my arms stretched out. You know, you can play about with this and find a variation that works for you today and how you're feeling in your body today. So I'm going to go for this version, I think. So we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths, probably 5 or 6 breaths. So start to take some deep breaths. Start to relax. You can try different poses, different variations until you find one that feels best for you today. I've actually changed again. But this feels good. So just notice how your body feels. Notice how your head feels, your face, your neck, your back, your legs and your arms, your tummy, your chest. How do you feel today? Try to relax different parts of your body, especially your face. I always seem to hold a lot of tension in my face and my jaw, my mouth and my cheeks, my eyebrows. So just remember to let them loose, let them relax. Perfect. So we're going to press back up. And we're going to move into a staff pose, which is a seated pose. So basically sit straight with your legs out in front of you. Now I find this quite hard on the best of days, honestly. So today I'm going to do it supported. So I'm going to place my blanket underneath my knees here, just for a little bit of support. And we're going to fold forwards here. So once you feel settled, either you have a blanket or some blocks under your knees, or you don't. Either way is completely fine. We're going to inhale our arms up and then exhale, fold forward. Now this isn't going to be exaggerated, we're not pulling, you know, there's no tension here, we're just folding and letting gravity do the work. Like I said, this is a very gentle class, so there should be no tension. Just kind of fold forwards and let gravity pull you down. Remembering to breathe. This is similar to the twist. You can inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold a little deeper. And remember to relax the neck as well. I have quite a stiff neck, but try and relax that if you can. Perfect. And it's coming back up to seated. We're going to actually lie down again. So I'm going to place my head back up at the top of the mat again. I'm going to rest my head on my blanket, so you can do the same if you have one. And we're going to move back into our supine twists. So if you both knees into your chest and give yourself a nice big hug. We're going to send our legs to the left hand side. The right hand can be extended out towards you, and your gaze can either be up in front of your head or over to the right hand side. And back through center. Our legs are going to go to the right hand side. So your left hand can extend out in front, beside you, sorry. Your right hand can come onto your left knee. I want to stay here for a couple of breaths. And back through center. We're going to move into bridge pose. So if you place your feet on the mat, hips distance apart, and your knees stay hips distance apart as well. I'm actually going to do supported bridge today. So if you have a block or some books or anything, you can take that now. And we're going to place it underneath us. So what we're going to do is make sure that your spine is nice and flat against the floor, against the mat. Your knees are bent with your feet flat on the floor, firmly on the mat, behind you, behind your buttocks, hips distance apart. And we're going to start to peel upwards, so starting with our buttocks and the lower back, start to peel, peel, peel. And we're going to place a block under there, so you have three options: the smallest option, the middle option, and the highest option. So I'm going to go for the middle one today in this pose, and you can just place that underneath your sacrum, so underneath your lower spine. And we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Remembering to breathe. We're not pushing too far. This isn't, this shouldn't be too difficult. This should be quite a relaxing pose, really. So if it's not relaxing, lower down a little bit more. One more inhale and exhale. And we're going to remove the block and slowly peel our spine back down again. So starting from the top of the spine, slowly lowering down. Our feet come towards the edges of the mat and our knees coming together. And this is just to neutralize our spine after doing the back bend. So make sure you do this pose, just to support your spine, support your back. So we're going to move into Supta Badanasana. We did Badanasana earlier where our feet were together and our knees were outwards, and we used the blocks for support. So we're going to do the same thing but laying down. So we're going to start by bringing our feet in together so that the soles of our feet are touching. And then we're going to place the blocks just underneath our knees so that we have some support there. I actually feel like that's not enough, so I'm going to move it onto the highest setting there. And just support my knees with the blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use books or blankets or anything really that's the same sort of height on either side. If you don't want to use blocks, you don't have to. We're just going to place our hands on our tummies and stay here for a couple of moments. Again, if you're feeling pain today, just send some love to your body. Give yourself some love and gratitude. It might even be nice to massage your tummy if you have any cramps, if you have any pain. Maybe just give yourself a nice massage. Remembering to breathe, taking deep breaths. Perfect. So we're now going to remove the blocks and extend your legs out in front of you. Your feet should be kind of mat distance apart, so take up some space here. Your hands can either come down beside you or they can rest on your tummy. I prefer to keep them on my tummy, but you can do what feels best for you today. I'm going to move into Savasana. So make sure you're nice and comfortable, make sure your shoulders are nice and relaxed, your feet are splaying out sideways, they're nice and relaxed. And I'm going to walk you through a little bit of a body scan. So once you feel comfortable, start to bring the attention to your toes and slowly relax them. Bring the attention to the top of your feet and the sole of your feet, and relax any tension. Slowly moving up to your ankles and your lower legs, your knees and your upper legs. If you feel any tension, just relax them. Relax all of your muscles. Moving your attention up to your hips, to your lower back, your middle back and your upper back. Again, just releasing any tension and relaxing any muscles. Moving the attention to your tummy, your abdomen, your chest. Again, releasing any tension, relaxing any muscles. Moving the attention to your shoulders, your upper arms, elbows and lower arms. Moving to your wrists, the palms of your hands, the tops of your hands and your fingers. Sending your whole body lots of love and relaxing every single part of your body. Moving the attention to your neck, to your throat, to your head, to your scalp, to the back of your head, and then to the front of your head where you've got your forehead, your eyebrows, your eyes, your cheeks, your tongue, your jaw, your chin, your lips. Try to relax every single part of your face and every single part of your body. And take this time now to send some love to your whole body. Send yourself some gratitude. You came out and practiced some yoga today even though you probably didn't want to. So well done for doing that, for giving yourself the time to do that today. And just focus on your breath. Maybe focus on your inhales and your exhales. Focus on your chest lifting up and down. Maybe your tummy moves. And if your mind starts to wander and you start to think about other things, just bring the attention back to your breath. And back to you laying on the mat today in Savasana. And when you feel ready, we're going to start some gentle movements again. So start to wiggle your toes. Maybe start to rub your tummy again. Give yourself a little tummy massage. Start to wriggle your fingers and your wrists. Maybe reach your arms above your head and stretch your legs for a big morning stretch. Ooh, bring your knees into your chest again. We're going to do one more gentle lower back massage. So gently move your knees in a circle to massage your lower back. I'm just going to go once in each direction slowly. And we're going to rock ourselves back up into a seated position. So you might do this in 2 or 3 rocks. It feels nice to massage the spine this way. If you do it nice and gently, nice and slowly. And back up to a seated position. So that's the end of today's practice. Thank you so much for doing some yoga with me today. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you subscribe for more videos. I release yoga videos every single Monday. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Maybe share it with some of your friends. And have a lovely day. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.